Okay, so that's Bitcoin anyway. Let's have a look at a few other things. So now you know how I like to use the tool. We'll check out a few different things. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Let's stick with crypto for the minute. We could do Tether, or we could do actual USD. Let's try that on Coinbase, for example. I'll remove my drawing tools. That looks quite old, actually. Okay, so as we can see, we had a few false starts here on Ethereum. Now, personally, when I say I like to set my stop below the previous low, in this instance, I may have set it about here. I never like to set it right below, because the chances of you getting stopped out on a kind of false breakdown, as you can see there, are quite likely. So hopefully in this instance I would have set it lower. And I mean, if you deem 19% as an acceptable loss, it sounds big, but I mean, it depends on your position sizing, really, doesn't it? So if you're happy to put a stop there, even though you get a red signal here at this point, if this level here was an acceptable loss in the first place, then why get out here? Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I treat this as well. So we get a lot of false starts here, but we never stopped out. I mean, if you're a bull trader, you may actually add to your position for a tiny bit cheaper there, and you can keep your stop here because that was the last low. And eventually the price does move up. You do get a signal that the uptrend is over, by which point your stop should be a little higher anyway. And you could take some profit there, or maybe just let it play out, entirely up to you. And you can see how it progresses. So that's daily Ethereum. Let's stay on the same chart and switch time frame. Let's have a look at what we're doing now. As you can see, we've had a few blues here indicating counter trend, uptrend starting, because we are quite obviously still in a downtrend, although we are trying to turn it around. So let's switch to 4 hour. And as the 4 hour stance goes, we'd consider the trend to be turning now, which is why we're getting green. As you can see, there's some blue here, and then it looks like we had broke the trend, but obviously we hadn't, in which case we would have got out before this pretty drastic drop. And then eventually we start getting a good series of green and red. So this is the 4 hour look of Ethereum. A couple of false starts here again, and then we do get another up move, as we have done since December, really. We'll switch to the hourly just to show you how many more entries and exits you get. The lower the time frame, the more signals you're going to get, naturally. And I bet if we have a look at this area on the even lower time frames, like the 15 minute or the 5 minute, even the 1 minute, if you're a bit of a scalp trader, there you go. That would have been your exit. That would have been your entry, sorry. And so far it's a 2% move, 2.5% move. Nothing to shout about in crypto, but there we go. So that's Ethereum. Let's go back to, say, a 4 hour. And let's go back to one of my favourites from this year and a little bit of last year, and that was Ravencoin. Had some good times on this one. Okay, so well, it looks great on the 4 hour, obviously. You can see the kind of gains we were having using the indicator. Not too bad, not too shabby. I do have another indicator that's I haven't done a tutorial for yet that would give you better exits than this, but we'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, Raven's been doing very well. Now if I switch to the 30-minute, I'm pretty sure I can find an example of a blue counter trend starting the uptrend off. And that is by here. So, and here as well actually. So Raven was still in quite a downtrend, and we had a lot of false starts. Thankfully, most of those finished sideways. As I said in a previous video, I really like this tool for helping me avoid severe drops. So anyway, as we're trying to break out of the downtrend, the indicator gives us a counter trend uptrend signal here and here. And if we were going to get in, we could set our stop below the last low. Maybe if you want to be extra careful, you could set it below this low. Whatever your risk position is, that will be down to you. And you get a nice early exit then, because it's a lower time frame. If I just mark this area, this candle, and then switch to a higher time frame, like the 4 hour, you probably wouldn't have got in that early. Oh, excuse me. Where is it? No. So see, the 30-minute would have got us in earlier. It'd have got us in by here. And then the 4 hour, you'd have got a buy signal here. And you probably would have had to have set your stop. Well, if you got in here, maybe you would have set your stop. But there. Anyway, yeah, Raven was a really good one this year. Let's have a look at something outside of crypto. Let's have a very quick look at Tesla. Because everybody in crypto wants a Tesla instead of a Lambo now. I know I wouldn't mind one. Okay. Again, a few false starts, but we do get some nice uptrends on the 4 hour. Very nice area here. That may be where I got in on a higher time frame, possibly. Let's have a look. This was some time ago. No, this would be 2013. This indicator didn't exist then. This may have been another test I was running on the indicator. Anyway. Tesla, this is the daily now. Looking good. Few false starts that were profitable anyway. Excellent. Let's jump quickly to gold. Price of gold per ounce. Let's jump to weekly for that. Looks a lot like Bitcoin's run up. And as you can see, we're no longer, well, we're getting a couple of counter trend buys and a couple of sideways signals at the minute, but we missed the good bulk of this drop. Okay, money, fiat currency, euro against the pound. What are we still on weekly? Let's jump to hourly. Now you're getting a lot more signals here. But as you can see, it's playing out exactly as it should. One more, let's do the US dollar against the yen. And let's do some scalping. Let's put that on the 5-minute. There we are, on the 5-minute. It looks excellent. I mean, percentage-wise, less than 0.5% there. But in traditional currencies, if you're playing with the right leverage, you can still make quite a bit of money that way. Okay, before we go, I need to show you how to set alerts as well. But before we go, let's do one more crypto. My one of my admins here will be in the Telegram group to help anybody out. You can chat to me or one of the admins. But I've got one here, Eggy. What are you in at the minute? What do you want to have a look at?
I got some BNB, so Binance coin.
Bit of Binance Coin. Okie doke. Against Bitcoin or the dollar? Should we look against the dollar?
I've got it against Bitcoin, which is
fine.
just turned red, I believe.
Oh, right, okay.
Just check.
What have you been using it on, the hourly?
I was on the hourly, yeah, and using the 4 hourly as well.
Oh, it has gone red, hasn't it? So, what price did you get? You got in around here, yeah?
I got in around, yes.
That's right, because we had a buy signal and the price hadn't really gone up. So you decided to take a punt. And I assume you set your stop somewhere around here?
Yeah, my stop loss is actually just below the next high.
Or below here? All right,
Yes.
right, okay. So you've moved it up already because you got into profit, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a red. Have you taken any profit yet?
I haven't, if I'm honest. I've been lazy and I'm just letting it ride.
Good man. Okay.
I
Cool.
haven't got a lot in there, so I'm just
You haven't got a lot.
I'm letting this do its thing, and I'm gonna see what happens.
He's modest. Okay. Right. Well. Okay. So while we're here on Binance Coin, let me show you